Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. So then the main event was Hangman Ospreay, finals of the Men's Owen Hart Cup, and excellent match there by the end. Excellent match. And the story here is, well, basically they used each other's finishes. Just a nice long match. Crowd was up and down early, but they got into it super at the end. And a couple of scary spots, including a Styles clash off the apron to the floor, which looked quite dangerous.
I didn't like that spot. I mean, it was awesome, but the crowd went crazy for it. But I just thought, like, man, the Hangman didn't land well, and Ospreay, landed right on his knees, with nothing to break the fall, but concrete. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then after that, they did the Kurt Angle Triple H spot where they tried to do a reversal on the announce table, but the table broke in mid-move.
Yeah.
And so, unknown to both of them, they just suddenly start crashing to the cement. And that looked like it could have been very no good, but I guess they were both okay.
Yeah.
And then Hangman gave him a dead eye on the Remnants. They did an old-school duel spot. Will rushed in to try to do a hidden blade, but Hangman hit the buckshot first. Went for the buckshot again. Ospreay hit the hidden blade, hit the Stormbreaker, missed a second hidden blade, which caused him to collapse. Ospreay hit Hangman with the V-trigger. Went for the one-winged angel. Hangman countered, hit Made in Japan for 2. And then Hangman tried the buckshot. Will avoided it. Hangman countered, hit the buckshot, got the pin. So Hangman is going on to face Jon Moxley for the title at All In, which honestly, that's the one I thought should have gotten it.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, there's the negative and the positive. The negative is that Ospreay probably should have won last year, but you had the Danielson story, so they held it off for a year. You keep holding it off, you keep beating him. It's like, yeah, there's more of a chase, and yeah, he's less special when he wins. When you're trying to turn a company around, you really want that babyface to be super special. On the flip side, I would have picked Page to win for this reason. I went through the whole thing on Friday, and there's great scenarios that you could do from it. But the short version, if you did not listen Friday, is that there are more matches available to headline pay-per-views if Page wins, and then Ospreay eventually beats Page. And then you've got a rubber match with Ospreay and Page. You would still have Ospreay with Moxley, who he's never beaten. You would still have all of the other, you still got Swerve, who beat Ospreay last year. There's just a lot more. You got, Samoa Joe. There's so many more matches. Not so many more, but there's 2 or 3 pay-per-view more matches that you can do. Page winning the championship is really good for Page. I do think Page has to win the title though at All In.
Yes.
I think Page. I think that him not winning the title would be a big mistake at this point. Even though I know business is up, and I know business is getting better, and I know that business is getting better with Moxley as champion. But I think that it's just time to make the move to Page right now. Page is doing some incredible promo work. His in-ring is fantastic. And Ospreay needs to win the title at some point. Not that long from now. But, again, there's more longevity to these matches with Ospreay winning a little bit later. There's a lot more main event matches you can do. If Ospreay was to win here and then to beat Moxley, you've basically have no reason to rematch either of them, really, because and the other way, you've got those matches and other matches. It's just more things you can do, especially when you're doing 9 pay-per-views a year. It's better to do the thing where you have the most big matches possible when it comes to the world title. They announced a couple of matches actually. The Bandito will be defending the Ring of Honor title against Mosquera Dorada. That's going to be on the 17th of June at Arena Mexico. So that match had already been announced, but it was officially announced as a ROH title match. And they're doing a tournament, sort of, for a shot at Kenny Omega. So he'll be making his first defense of his international title. It's going to be on Wednesday. What's the match on Wednesday? I think it's Josh Alexander and Brody King. They're doing a rematch of that match that they just had, which was a really good match. It's going to be a four-way, so the winner of that will be one of the four. And then on Collision on Saturday, the other two in the four-way will be decided. One will be Commander and Claudio, which I'm sure it'll be Claudio. He losing twice to Commander. And then also on Saturday, it's Mosca Dorada and Hechicero, which is interesting because I think the idea is one person from each country. So Claudio would win being the guy from Switzerland. Kenny would be the guy from Canada. And then, Dorada or Hechicero would be the guy from Mexico. And then Brody, I'm thinking, beats Josh to be the guy from the United States. But I could be completely wrong on that. But the only one of the four where I would say it's like a lock who's winning is Claudio, because that's Commander's role, is to go out there and have awesome matches and lose. So that's so the Kenny match will take place on the Dynamite on the 4-hour show on June the 4th.
If you love this show, you should consider signing up at WrestlingObserver.com. WrestlingObserver.com has every show that we have ever done, over 15,000 podcasts in the archives, dating back to 2005. Searchable by show, searchable by year. Perhaps the first show you ever watched was 2008 WrestleMania? Well, you can head into the archives and you can find the podcast we did, all built around the 2008 WrestleMania. Every major show, whether it be WWE, AEW, we covered it all. 15,000 archived shows at WrestlingObserver.com. Also, when you subscribe, you get full access to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. There's a new Observer every Friday. And on top of that, we have thousands and thousands of archived issues of the Observer dating back to 1991. So again, WrestleMania 2008, go to the archives, search WrestleMania 2008, read all of the issues surrounding that show. Of course, Wrestling Observer newsletter, 40,000 words of news and information on pro wrestling and mixed martial arts every single week. New issue comes out every Friday. New back issue comes out every Monday. You also get the discussion board. One of the best discussion boards on the internet. It's members only. If you're going to troll, well, you got to pay to troll, and there aren't too many of those. And if you cause too much trouble, you're out of there. So if you want a great place to discuss professional wrestling, it is the board. Also available as a subscriber at WrestlingObserver.com. The whole package, all of the new shows, all of the archived shows, all of the new issues of the Observer, all of the archived editions of the newsletter, all of the past episodes of Wrestling Observer Radio, Wrestling Observer Live, The Brian and Vinny Show, Figure 4 Daily, Filthy 4 Daily, The Board, all of it, just $14.99 per month. The full shebang. And you can save a lot of money getting an annual subscription. A full year, you basically get 2 months free. So check it out, WrestlingObserver.com, everything you'll ever need as a fan of professional wrestling. Check it out today, F4WOnline.com.